Hi everyone, I wanted to share a junk journal that I have made for my sister who is a quilter, and I used a lot of the fabrics that she has used in the past for making quilts. She's more of a modern fabric type of quilter, not your antique-y traditional type of quilter, so I wanted to make this more to her style. I took a book and repurposed it, took the insides out and covered the front and back with the material from one of the quilts that she had made, and added a little pocket here in the front with some lace at an angle. On the spine, I've got a little ribbon poof with some of the material scraps, and added a chain that has a scissors charm, a sewing machine, a little bauble with some beads in it, and a little spool of thread so that you can see that. You can see I've put a closure on here to hold it shut. It is so thick, and that's made out of seam binding, and I added a few of the little beads to match the big button on the front. So let's take a look inside. So on the inside front cover is some of the material that she's used, and I have added all through this book a lot of fun quilters quotes to the book. So this is a tag that she can put pictures on or write on with one of the fun little quilters quotes, and of course the rules for quilting. A lot of the pages in here are made from a Quilters magazine. I just pulled out the pages, folded them as part of the signatures. This is another piece of her fabric with a fun little Quilters saying. And then I also had an old book that I found at Goodwill, I believe, that just all it had was little lined papers that you could write in. So I took papers out of that book and added to this journal. There's a lot of pictures of quilt shops in here with bolts of fabric and quilts. Just beautiful pieces of work. This is a envelope pocket, and this is one of her quilts, some of the fabric from one of her quilts, and I actually took it and sewed the pieces together on my sewing machine, and she can use that to put pictures of her own quilt. And then a little glassine bag. I put these throughout the journal as well, and covered them with some scrapbooking paper from a little 6x6 sewing themed scrapbook pad. Made some little envelopes with, this is some fun button trim, and this has another little quilting quote in here. Some more of the quilt magazine papers. It's a little library pocket that I added. She can write little notes on with another quilt quote. Straighten this book up. Some more pages. Here's a dictionary page with the definition of memory, and another fun quilt quote. More quilt magazine pages, and another glassine bag envelope with a tag. And this has a little bit of washi tape on it. Another envelope another place to put a few pattern notes. Some more of that lined paper. I believe I have 4 signatures in this book. And this is some children's fabric that she made a quilt out of. And I just took the pieces that she had already sewn together and fit them into the pages of this journal. Added a few buttons. And then she also did a Halloween themed quilt, so of course I had to add Halloween themed pages to this. This is a little Tim Holtz charm that I added on a little clip and a tag to write on. Added a little bit of black lace with some orange pom-pom trim. And this is from one of the quilt magazines. And this is her material that I added to a tag and made a pocket with some more of the lace and trim. A few holiday quilt pages. And this is a little envelope that has a little piece of Halloween themed cardstock in here to write on. And then I also, on the back, I found these little cat paper clips. And this is a piece of ephemera from one of Tim Holt's Halloween themed scrapbooking. And I put a little straight pin on here and just attach this to the pocket. Some more quilt magazine pages. And I used some paper from Daphne's Diary. And this little envelope, I took some of the papers from Daphne's Diary and cut them and made a little pamphlet that she could write little notes on, and stapled it together and put a piece of lace on the top. One of the Quilters stores. And this is some more of her fabric. And I will probably put something in the middle of those buttons, something yellow to go with the fabric. Here's some more of her fabric. And I added a little arrow paper clip with a little ruler. Let's see if you can see the ruler hanging on it. Here's another glassine bag with a little bit of the scrapbooking paper and a tag. And this is some more of her fabric, and I added that to a tag and just added the little scissors charm with a safety pin. And for the last signature, a little bit more of her fabric, and I actually took the fabric and cut them into 2x2 squares and sewed them together myself, and added these to the page and put a tag in here. Little clip with a hanger charm. Some more papers. And this was some paper I had in a paper pack that just seemed to go good with the quilting theme, the little 2x2 squares. And this is another pocket with another little Quilters quote. And I have that held in here with this paper clip because it keeps wanting to fall out. Beautiful scrap quilting stores. And here's another piece of her quilting fabric. I put on a tag. And I actually sewed a lot of the pockets around the outside the paper before I put it on the pocket. And here's another tag with a scissors charm. papers. And here's another library pocket. And this has a little button charm. Doesn't want to go down in there good. And then the back cover is just like the front cover. And I'll probably add a little something there. Well, I hope you enjoyed looking at my very first junk journal. And thank you for watching.